What's up guys, it's Matt, the Fruitful Investor. So here's something that everyone wants to know, and that is, how do you find a good flip? How do you ensure that you lower your risk so that you actually make a profit? And most important, how do you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm? Which, if you haven't already smashed the like button, please do. So this video is really a step-by-step guide on how to flip homes to ensure that you actually make a massive profit. And after flipping well over than 100 properties, I've got a lot of secrets for you. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so if you're new to the channel, I've been investing in real estate since 2011. I've owned over 45 individual rental properties, and I've also flipped over 100 single family homes. I've also raised over $50 million, all from social media, so building a real estate business and investing is right up my alley. Now the first thing you need to know before flipping properties is, where do you want to invest? Is it going to be where you currently live, or is it going to be out of state or out of country? If you haven't nailed down the exact place where you want to flip, then there's no point in really even looking at properties, as you're going to confuse yourself and go through analysis paralysis. We really want to avoid that, because getting clear means we can take action faster, which the most important thing in business that I always say here on my channel is speed wins. So here's 3 quick things to help you think about to help you choose the right area to start flipping in. This is really important, because if there aren't any jobs, then no one is going to move to that area. You also want your buyers paying you top dollar, I'm sure, and they can only do that if they're working. So avoid small towns or one-trick pony towns that are really heavily invested into one industry, like manufacturing, for example. While these areas may have cheaper real estate and do really well in the boom phase of the real estate cycle, when things start changing like we're seeing right now, these areas get smoked the hardest and the fastest. The second thing you want is a high population growth. Are people constantly moving to this area, and is it growing faster than the state or even the national average in growth? Again, if people are moving to this area in droves, the demand on real estate will be higher. And the third thing you want to watch out for is the inventory level in that area. Now we can calculate the inventory level by dividing the amount of single family homes currently on the market by the amount of homes that have recently sold in the past 30 days. Now, if we jump into my MLS system and look at my local area of Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, which by the way, if you're an investor in my local area, I am a real estate agent specializing only with real estate investors and have been since 2011. And we have the whole team for you. We can even manage your renovations after you buy the property and literally take care of everything Fruitful style. So hit me up. So on the system here, I'm gonna look at the total amount of single family homes. Very important that I'm only looking at those, and currently on the market, we can see there are 885 homes for sale. Now, if I look at the amount of homes that currently went pending, which means they sold and firmed up, in the past 30 days, we have 545. So if I take the 885 homes currently on the market and divide that by the 545 that have sold, it gives us 1.6 homes worth of inventory on the market. This means that if not one more single family home comes on the market, it would take 1.6 months to sell all of this inventory off. So anything from 1 to 3 months worth of inventory is a very, very hot market. 3 to 4 months worth of inventory is a fairly neutral market. And 5 to 6 plus months worth of inventory is something you need to run away from and is not a good area to flip in, as there's not really demand to soak up all of those homes. So those are the 3 really quick tips to think about before choosing an area to invest in. The second thing you need to know about flipping homes is, you need a real deal. This is absolutely the most important thing when it comes to flipping houses, is you need an actual real deal way below market value to make sure you're actually gonna make a profit when you go to sell it. So you're probably thinking, Matt, how can I get this under market value deal? How do I know if it's a real deal? What numbers should I follow, etc.? So I'm gonna give you my famous Matt Pichet Fruitful Investor formula that I use literally on every single house that we buy. Are you ready? Got your pen and paper? So we take the after repair value, also known as ARV. So ARV times 80% minus renovations equals max price. So if that makes no sense to you and it's a bunch of numbers flying at your head, this is how it works in real life. So if we know that once we renovate this house, Fruitful style, and it's gonna look absolutely amazing, this single family detached house, for example, is gonna be worth 750 grand when it's all done and looks pretty, and again, looks Fruitful style, which you can get in my renovation course below. Check the courses out, and you can get all the materials that I use, all the links to everything that I buy, light fixtures, cabinets, flooring, baseboards, everything, man. Taps, every little thing. You can get all that in the course below, so your houses look like mine and your renovations are on autopilot. So if we know it's gonna be worth 750 grand when it's all said and done, we take that number, times it by 0.8, which equals $600,000. Now, I haven't renovated the house yet, right? So we gotta minus the renovations from that. So 600K minus a typical 100K is what we spend on our single family homes to renovate is 500 grand. So in essence, if I know the house is gonna be worth 750 grand when it's all done and looks pretty, and it cost 100 grand to renovate it, my max offer on this property is 500 grand. Now, don't buy homes solely based on this metric or this formula alone, but this is how we weed out properties to do more detailed analysis on after. So I'll plug that quick little formula in whenever I get a deal sent from my acquisition manager or other wholesalers. If it kind of passes the test there, then I'll break down the actual individual numbers on a bigger spreadsheet of like all the holding costs, the realtor costs, the financing costs, right down to the penny, and then I can either buy the property or not. But almost 9 times out of 10, if a property, if I get a deal based on that formula and that seller accepts my offer based on that, it's like 9 out of 10, it's going to work when I plug it in the actual financial breakdown. The third thing is we need to market for off-market deals. So how this game works as a flipper or a wholesaler it's really whoever spends the most money is gonna win and win more deals. Like this industry is just crazy with the amount of money you have to spend in order to attract these motivated sellers to call me. When it comes to like my real estate agent business or my joint venture attraction for partners to buy real estate, the marketing cost is like zero. So like that's what I'm used to, just making YouTube videos, attracting people, etc. But in this game, it's totally different. It requires reaching out to the sellers, and it's very expensive. So the most common ways, which you probably already know if you're interested in flipping, is flyers, right? So like We Buy Houses flyers, I'm sure you get a million of those in your mailbox, or I've seen them. So no secret, that's what we all do. So we're doing flyers, we're doing Facebook ads, online ads, ads on Google, etc. Like you already know all these things. There's no magic formula, no magic bullet. What it really is, like I said, is whoever spends the most money is going to win the most deals. So just be prepared for that. Have a budget set up. If you're a new flipper, I understand. You're probably gonna get wiped out by bigger flippers like me at the beginning, but you can buy wholesale deals from wholesalers at first, which aren't the best deals. Obviously getting your own deals is way better, but at least you can start flipping, get some money, some capital raised up from the profits, and then you can spend that on your own marketing. That is the goal, of course, is you to become your own wholesaler. Don't rely only on realtors. Especially realtor deals right now, which aren't really the best deals. Maybe they will be in a few months with everything going on, but right now, for the past couple of years, real estate MLS deals are terrible for flips, and wholesaler deals aren't really that much better, honestly, because they're just marking it up an insane amount. The fourth thing you need to do is renovate your properties better than everybody else. So you need to start thinking like a builder, really, and like a real business owner. Is your product better than everybody else's on the street? Are you providing a better home to live in? That's really it. And that's what we pride ourselves on with our flips is, if you see our flips here on YouTube, you know the aftermarket value, whatever. The after renovation is absolutely amazing. Like our houses kick ass, kick everybody's ass on the market. And that's really what you wanna do. And you also have to know your buyer, which is very, very important, which a lot of flippers don't do. They just use like a Home Depot kitchen or like, you know, back of the house or back of the store flooring, leftover flooring that you can buy on sale. That's cool and all, it's cheaper, I get it, but is that what your end buyer actually wants? So who's buying this property? Is it a millennial couple? Is it an older couple? Is it a more luxe house where they want more, you know, frilly luxe kind of things, which are kind of ugly, but that's what the rich people want, the super rich people, etc. Know who your buyer is and make sure that flip is tailored to that. So like when we flip a townhouse, it's usually a first-time home buyer, a younger couple, 9 times out of 10. So we're making it a little more urban, a little more neutral, a little more cold, like with cold colors, more like loft feeling, right? And then when we do more of a single family house, it's probably more of a second-time home buyer. They probably have kids and a dog. So we're renovating that a little different. Like we'll try, you know, maybe have a shower big enough to fit the dog in, like a dog wash, stand-up shower, like massive. We might even put in a dog wash station that we would never do like on a townhouse or a regular house, etc. We're thinking more like a builder and more like a marketer as well, which is what I always say, when you're doing real estate investing, you're really more of a marketer first, and you just happen to do real estate investing, but it really all comes down to marketing. Number 5, you need to have good contractors, which is really the most important part of a flip business is, do you have good contractors? So the best way to get a good contractor is through a referral from another investor who's used them in your local area. So if you're in local meetup groups or online meetup groups with other investors, ask them who they're using. You can also use Craigslist, Kijiji to find them, which I know is kind of sketchy. We can attract some weird contractors from there, but I found my best contractors from Kijiji, and I still use a lot of them today. And it really comes down to trusting your gut. Like when you meet someone who's a little off, a little sketchy, especially a contractor, like you know, this guy's probably not gonna do a good job. He's probably gonna screw me in some way. And every time that I've been screwed by a contractor, which has been a ton of times, I knew they were gonna screw me before we even hired them. Like when I first met them, I was like, oh, I just got a bad feeling about this guy, but I need someone, like I need this flooring done ASAP, so like whatever, I'm just gonna use them and hope it works out. Every time I've done that, that's the person who screwed me the most. So when I hire a contractor, it's really my gut instinct first. Also, from me being in the industry for so long and being a carpenter by trade, I kind of know what to look for. I can just look a man in the eye kind of thing and just know, does this person know what they're talking about? Are they actually skilled? It's just something you pick up with more and more experience. And the best way to keep a good contractor and keep them working for you once you find them is to keep them busy. So like I keep my guys busy all year long, especially my subcontractor contractors. They pretty much work for me, even though they're subcontractors, because I keep them busy all year long. We're buying properties every single month, multiple properties a month. So they know, okay, Matt's gonna keep me busy. I'm gonna work for him. I'm gonna do a good job for him because he's feeding me basically. So that's really the secret. Like once you find a good contractor, you need to scale your business and keep them busy, which will attract more good contractors, and then they just kind of stick with you. Like I said, the guys I've been using, my electrician, the HVAC guy, the plumbers, I've been using them for like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years. They're still with me on every single job. But the best thing you can do is to hire your own or start your own company and hire employees. So that's where I'm at now in my stage, and this is kind of like later stages. When you know you're buying a ton of properties and you know you're flipping a house like every single month at least, the best thing to do is to start your own renovation company and hire employees, carpenters to work for you. Why? It's just more control. The one thing you'll find with even subcontractors, even though if they're great, is that they're busy. So if you need them to do this thing, on Monday morning, I need you to do the flooring in this house and then head over to this other house I have and do some drywall repairs or whatever. They're more likely to be like, yeah, you know what? No problem, but I have to go over to Susie's job and do that one for 3 days, and then I'll come back to your house. I promise, I'll come back. And then I got another job next week. It's just a small bathroom, so I'll be gone for like a week, but then I'll be right back to your job. So you're kind of dealing with that kind of stuff, which again, speed is the most important thing with flipping. So I've totally got rid of all that by hiring my own employees, which is the biggest reason why I've done it. Why I did it, there's just more control. So if I say, John, you're going to this house on Monday and you're doing flooring. Aye, Matt, no problem. Because if you don't, you're fired. Like there's no, oh, but I gotta go over here. No, like you work for my company, I'm telling you where to go. So it's just more control, and I can do my flips even faster, which is why I really love having my own company. The sixth and last thing you need to do to build a great flip business is to hire people in key roles and scale. So for example, try and get yourself out of the business, which is, I know is really hard. If you're starting to, build this business, you're trying to do everything because it's cheaper, it's easier. You know how to do it the way that you want to do it, but I'm telling you, you need to get rid of that mentality and hire more people. So for example, I have an acquisition manager, so I don't deal with any of the phone calls of sellers calling in from all of our marketing. I don't touch the phone. He's picking up the phone, he's calling everybody, he's setting up the meetings, he's going to meet the seller, do his thing, lock up the deal, and then he just calls me whenever we have a deal that we just bought. So I don't hear from him unless we bought a house, really. So that's pretty cool. That whole side of the business, I don't touch anymore. I also have a project manager, which is a very key hire. So once we have multiple flips, at any given time, we could have 1 to 5 or 4 flips all at once. That's way too much for me to manage while I'm doing everything else with this entire empire. So she runs all the jobs and all the employees as well. So ordering material, dropping it off, making sure the jobs are on schedule, scheduling the electrician, plumber, HVAC person. I don't do any of that. So when we buy a house, I might go at the very beginning when we bought it, really to shoot a video for YouTube, but I'm not seeing it until the very, very, very end when it looks all amazing and it's all staged and I get the picture sent to me to put it on the MLS. Like I don't see the houses at all anymore. I've completely removed myself from that part of the business. So a very, very key hire. The next thing you want to hire is a funds manager. So because we have so many jobs on the go, we have a lot of funding, a lot of people lending money to us to do these projects. There's too much stuff going on, too much money coming in, too much payments going in and out every month. I have a funds manager who takes care of all that, receiving money, sending money, doing the payments on time for all of our partners. So a very, very key hire. You also need a realtor to sell the properties. So me being a realtor, obviously I'm the one listing them, so that's an added bonus. But if you're not a realtor, finding a great listing agent to put all your properties on the market to sell those babies. And also you need a really good stager. Most important thing with flipping properties, again, is having your properties look better than everybody else's. And one way to do that for sure is to stage the house with really quality staging furniture. This is absolutely a game changer. You must stage all of your flips in order to sell them for top dollar. Even if the house looks amazing, empty, it's a brand new house. I don't care if it's a new build house. If you wanna put that on the market, please, please, please stage it. It just totally kills it. And also what it kind of does, little tip here, is it hides little blemishes or little things wrong with your property, because there's always something wrong. Maybe the floor is a little wonky over here. Maybe the baseboards didn't quite fit properly in the corner because the guys were rushing. Like, there's always things wrong, even in luxury new build. There's things that just didn't turn out the way you want them to. And I'm telling you, staging totally hides all of those things, because the buyer's eye just goes to the furniture and they start imagining what it would be like to live here, what it would be like to raise the kids in here, etc. Rather than, oh, look at that baseboard blemish over there. Oh, look at this door, it doesn't really close right over here, etc., etc. Because they're too blown away by all of the staging. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you learned anything. I hope you learned some great tips on how to build a flip business and make massive profits. I've done it for 12 years or more, and it's totally changed my life. Real estate is absolutely amazing if you understand it and treat it like a business. So if you learned anything, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for 2 financial videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.